and we'll finish up the show with a look at the draw for next week's World Seniors Championship. What first round ties stand out for you? And I'm going to be at all the sessions for the first round. So, Burton, if Modus were to offer you a flight out to Purfleet and you get to watch one of the first round sessions, which one would you choose?
Well, I'll take the flight out to Purfleet, but I won't go to any of the sessions because I'm still protesting for how they wouldn't give me a refund of, what was it, £5 when the video stream wasn't working for me. I mean, even though it's a free ticket, I'm not going to take the risk that I accidentally buy a beer or something there and suddenly they get more of my money until they give me those £5 back. But I will gladly take the free flight over and enjoy a weekend's holiday in beautiful Purfleet in February. But as far as which first round ties I'm most looking forward to, there's a couple from the Thursday afternoon or play. The third match on, probably the standout tie of the entire first round. David Cameron, of course, winning one of the televised events last year, going against Richie Howson, who, qualified 4 different times for this. He won both qualifiers this past weekend, created a couple lucky losers into the event. Richie Howson's obviously playing at a really, really good level right now and is going to come in with a lot of confidence. But David Cameron is a televised winner in the senior events. That could be a really good matchup between two people who aren't just thinking, I can win this match. They're thinking, I can win this title the way I'm playing right now, or at least have been playing recently. But also, Martin Adams against Dave Prince. Martin Adams made a final last year. He's still playing at a fairly good level, but Dave Prince is a player who, on his day, can average north of 100. When we've seen him on the Pro Tour in the last few years, he's been really good. We haven't seen as much of him in the last year and a half, but he's a tricky customer, and I'm curious to see how he's going to do. And I'll just give a shout out to one more match, and this one comes from the Friday afternoon order of play. Also the third match, and only going third matches here. I guess third match is the key one. Tony O'Shea against Leonard Gates. We saw Leonard Gates in the Grand Slam. We saw Leonard Gates at the PDC World Championships. He's a very good player. Chose not to go test himself at Q School, focusing on this instead. But he's a player who can average north of 100. Tony O'Shea, not the player he once has been, but he has the experience, and if he brings his game, he'll cause Leonard Gates some trouble. But I'm really looking forward to see how Gates does at this tournament, because he's one of those players who's going to be in it not just to make up the numbers, but to lift the title, to become the second American world champion ever after Stacey Bromberg at the 2010 PDC Women's World Championship long ago. And I think he very well could. Leonard Gates is playing really, really good stuff right now. And I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets his World Seniors Championship debut underway.
Yeah, some good picks there, and a few of the games that I was going to mention as well. And the one that jumps off the page straight away is that game with David Cameron and Richie Howson. I mean, it's a rotten draw for both players. David Cameron, who won one of these events, as you mentioned, last year, and Richie Howson, I mean, he's won so many of them qualifiers to get in. We're kind of expecting his name to come out about 2 or 3 times in the draw on Sunday, but only came out once, and probably not the time that he wanted his name to come out, because that is one of the hardest draws in terms of the quality of the players in this field. David Cameron is one of the names that the unseeded players, would have wanted to avoid. But for us, that means we are going to lose one of those players in the first round, but it does mean we are going to have a very, very good first round game between those two players. So that's definitely one I've got my eye on straight away. The Tony O'Shea, Leonard Gates as well. I think that's going to be a very competitive game as well as Martin Adams, Dave Prince. They're some games that I'm looking forward to. Another one I'll mention as well, and it is Phil Taylor against Colin McGarry, and Phil Taylor played in all these events last year, didn't win any of them. I think he made 2 of the finals, and he's someone that was back to do very well in these. And how much practice has he put in it coming into this second stage of the World Seniors Championship? Well, we're going to find that out next week, because performances last year, okay, they weren't near where his A game was, but we weren't expecting that. But he'll want to go back and put the hours in and try and win one of these titles, I think. And he even said it himself last year when he went out early in these events. He's going to put in the hours, he's going to put in more practice for these events, and if it doesn't work out next time round, then we might not see him in these events again. And Colin McGarry, someone that got to the quarterfinals of the World Seniors match play last year and pushed Kevin Painter close in their games. So I think that is a tricky first round tie for Phil Taylor in that one. And couple others I'll give a mention to: Terry Jenkins, Chris Mason. I think they're two well-matched players at this moment in time. Chris, we saw on the Modus League, he won one of the weeks, and Terry Jenkins has played on that as well. I think that's a game that could go to 5 sets, and I mean, we have to mention it, don't we? It's going to be the first game on his way to winning the title. I can't wait to see it. But Ko Stompe makes his return against John Part. That's going to be a pretty close game, I think. I think both players will fancy their chances in that one of progressing, and even in the next round, Les Wallace or Dal Fitton. So, yeah, I think for both of them, it's a chance to get to the quarterfinals. And, yeah, I've got my fingers crossed, everything crossed, that it is going to be the matchstick that gets through, and we are going to see the Crane for the first time on Friday night next week.